Hello students, welcome to all in the second part of diuretic. The definition we have seen, the diuretic means the agent which increases the rate of urine formation or which increases the excretion of the urine, that is called as diuretic. Main action of the diuretic is to inhibit the reabsorption of sodium. Then we have seen the diagram, the formation, how urine is formed through the nephron. There are four sites where the sodium get reabsorbed: PCT, loop of Henle, distal converter tubule, and last site is collecting duct. Then classification, 5 classes: thiazide diuretic, loop diuretic, potassium sparing diuretic, carbonic anhydrase inhibitor, and fifth is osmotic diuretic. Then we started the first class, carbonic anhydrase inhibitor. Carbonic anhydrase inhibitor, they inhibit the splitting of bicarbonate into the H plus and bicarbonate ion. By this way, H plus is not available for the exchange of with the sodium. So sodium remain in the tubular fluid and it get excreted. Sodium, it is followed by the water. So the volume of water in the tubular fluid, it get increases. So this is the mechanism of action. Then interaction of the enzyme with the H2CO3 and with the carbonic anhydrase inhibitors. The carbonase anhydrase inhibitors, they are made up from the sulfonylamides. So according to different sulfonylamides, it is categorized under two classes: simple heterocyclic sulfonamides, metadisulfonamyl benzene derivative. Here the simple heterocyclic sulfonamides we started. In that we have seen the structure of the first drug acetazolamide and second drug is methazolamide. Up till now we have that much is covered. Now the next part under the carbonic anhydrase inhibitor is structure activity relationship, means SAR. So acetazolamide is the basic nucleus on which we can do the different substitution or modification. So first point is SAR is that the sulfonamyl group is essential for the production of diuretic action. The sulfonamyl group means SO2 NH2 group. It must be there to interact with the enzyme. That we have seen the how the SO2 NH2 group interact with the enzyme side by forming a different bond. So this group should be present. Second point under the SAR is that the sulfonamyl nitrogen atom must remain unsubstituted to retain the activity. Means that this hydrogen should be there. These two hydrogen should be there to interact with the enzyme. That hydrogen form a hydrogen bonding with the electronegative atom like oxygen and nitrogen in the enzyme side. So presence of hydrogen is essential. If we have done the substitution of hydrogen with any other group, that diminishes the activity. So sulfonamyl nitrogen must be a unsubstituted, means as it is, remain as it is, NH2. Third is the derivatives of this acetazolamide who's having highest lipid partition coefficient and lowest dissociation constant. That compound having a greatest carbonic anhydrase inhibitor activity, or we can say diuretic activity. So these are the 3 points in SAR. Here these points are elaborated. So first point, we have seen that the sulfonamyl group should be absolutely essential, means should be there to carbonic to show the carbonic anhydrase inhibition activity. Second, sulfonyl nitrogen must be remain unsubstituted. Because of that, the other antibacterial than the sulfonilamide, they do not showing carbonic anhydrase activity because the hydrogen of NH2 group is substituted in that antibacterial drug, and because of that they does not have any inhibition of carbonic anhydrase enzyme except sulfonilamide, because the in sulfonilamide the hydrogens are unsubstituted. Next, substitution of methyl group on one of acetazolamide ring nitrogen yields methazolamide. That product retain the carbonic anhydrase inhibitory activity and even more potent. The methazolamide, that drug having a additional methyl group on the one of the nitrogen in the acetazolamide ring. The central ring means this ring, acetazolamide ring. The nitrogen is on this nitrogen there is a substitution of methyl group. The sulfonyl group must be attached to a moiety that possesses aromatic character. Sulfonyl group should be attached the aromatic ring system, then and then it shows the carbonase anhydrase inhibition activity. So this is the SAR of the first class, that is heterocyclic compound. The second drug is under this category is methazolamide. Methazolamide, the additional methyl group is there than the acetazolamide, and so the IUPAC name N3-methyl 5-sulfoamyl 1,3,4-thiodiazole 2 in bracket 3H vilidin acetamide. Here the acetamide group, this is the acetamide group, similarly as the acetazolamide, this is the acetamide group, and the remaining this ring is attached to the nitrogen. So here the N is written here. This ring is which ring? The thiodiazole. It is 1,3,4 means the position of sulfur is 1, position of second nitrogen 3, position of third nitrogen is 4. So it is 1,3,4 thiodiazole. To indicate the attachment of this acetamide group from the second position of the ring, and 3H, it indicates the third position is saturated position, means the 1, 2, 3, this third position is the saturated, and the while leading LIDEN, DEN means the alkene, it indicates the second position having a alkene means double bond. So this nitrogen second position bond with the nitrogen, it having a double bond. So here vilidin is written. In acetazolamide only YL is written, and remaining is similar 3-methyl, the nitrogen substituted with the methyl, and this fifth position having a sulfonyl group. So name is N3-methyl 5-sulfonyl 1,3,4-thiodiazole 2 3H vilidin acetamide. Methazolamide is more potent carbonic anhydrase emitter than the acetazolamide. Prototype is basic ring. Presence of methyl group increases the activity, but it is rarely used as a diuretic. It is used for the treatment of glaucoma. Glaucoma means increase in the intraocular pressure. This methazolamide, it can be penetrate into the eye and it release the pressure, so it can be used in the treatment of glaucoma. The acetazolamide and methazolamide both are used as a antihypertensive or to treatment of the glaucoma or edema. Next is the synthesis of acetazolamide. So synthesis, here the acetazolamide is synthesized. Acetazolamide is the 5-acetamido 1,3,4-thiazole 2-sulfonamide. The synthesis of acetazolamide is based on production of 2-amino-5-mercapto 1,3,4-thiazole, means this ring. This ring is synthesized by the reaction of ammonium thiocyanate and hydrogen. This is ammonium thiocyanate, this is hydrogen. On reaction that they form the NN-bis thiourea. This is the NN-bis thio. Bis means two similar group present, thiourea, and which is cyclized to this ring. And this ring, upon reaction with phosgene means chlorine, and the on acetylation, acetic anhydride, acylation with acetic anhydride gives 2-acetylamino-5-mercapto 1,3,4-thiazole. This is the compound. And sorry, this is not phosgene. Here phosgene should be written. And next, on chlorination of this, there is formation of this 2-acetylamino-5-mercapto 1,3,4-thiazole 5-sulfonyl chloride. This is chlorination of this group, and upon reaction with ammonia it gives the acetazolamide. So this is the synthesis of acetazolamide. Second class under the carbonic anhydrase inhibitor is the metadisulfomoyl benzene derivative. So we'll see the structure. This is the basic nucleus. So first drug is the dichlorophenamide. 4,5-dichloro-1,3-benzene disulfonamide. Simple IUPAC name. 4,5-dichloro. This is the first position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4,5-dichloro. Then 1,3-benzene disulfonamido group. This sulfonamido group. Di means 2 sulfonamido group present at 1,3 position and the benzene nucleus. Second drug is the chloraminophenamide. This drug, but it is not in your syllabus. Your syllabus only having the dichlorophenamide. So we'll see the ACR structure activity relationship. As earlier drug, same here, the SO2 group, sulfamyl group should be unsubstituted, and it is important for the diuretic action. Not diuretic, but it is important for carbonic anhydrase inhibition action. Maximum diuretic activity is observed when the position is substituted with the chlorine, bromine, trifluoromethane and nitro group. The other position should be substituted with this group, then it will shows the maximum diuretic action. Next, sulfomoyl moiety can be replaced with the other isoelectric group like carbonyl or carbamyl. That increases diuretic potency, but it decreases carbonic anhydrase inhibition activity. So to inhibit the carbonic anhydrase, there should be a presence of SO2 group. Without that, the other group can show diuretic action, but they do not show the carbonyl anhydrase inhibition. Substitution with an amino group increases the soluretic but decreases carbonyl anhydrase inhibitory activity. The substitution of NH2 group, it excrete the salt, so it causes the more excretion of the salt. So they increases the saluretic. But this compound, there is decrease in the carbonase anhydrase inhibition activity. So this is the 4 points under the SAR of this class. Then the uses, clinical uses, all these three drugs, they are decreases the intraocular pressure by decreasing the rate of aqueous humor formation. So they are used in the treatment of glaucoma. These are the brand names of these drugs. Mostly the methazolamide is used. Other use is they produces the urinary alkalization, means the increase in the pH, and this increase in the pH which increases the excretion of uric acid. So it is used in the treatment of gout. Acetazolamide will increase the renal excretion of weak acid due to the urinary alkalization. Next, they are used for the acute mountain sickness, means at high altitude there is the chances of formation of pulmonary or cerebral edema. Above 3000 meters there is risk of formation of edema. So for precaution of that, these drugs are taken, acetazolamide is taken 24 hours before. The other symptoms of this mountain sickness is weakness, dizziness, insomnia and nausea. Then toxicity. The diuretic effectiveness decreases significantly with use over the 2-3 days because bicarbonate wasting. Along with sodium, the bicarbonate also excreted through the urine, and because of that it produces blood acidosis, and the pH is changed, and as the pH of blood is changed, if acidosis is occur, the effectiveness of the drug get reduces. So after 2-3 days this drug shows they are ineffective. Then second toxicity or adverse effect is they enhance the renal stone formation, because calcium salt in alkaline pH, the calcium salt is insoluble, and because of that there may be chances of formation of renal stone. Then the loss of potassium ion. The sodium which is retained in the tubular fluid, it transport towards, at the last of the nephron there is collecting duct, and where the sodium is exchanged with the potassium. So more potassium comes out of the blood and it is exchanged with the sodium, and there are chances of the loss of potassium ions, and which produces hypokalemia. So this is the toxicity. So this is about the carbonase anhydrase inhibitors. The next class under the diuretic we will see in the next video. Thank you.